Hi everybody, in this video I want to talk about mental health and stigma. Now stigma is getting a little bit better, but it's been about for many years. Stigma in itself is a form of discrimination. It could be in the workplace, in society, how people have looked on those that are suffering with an illness, like looking at them as they're different, they're not different, they are a person, and each one of those persons, they have families, they have loved ones, and also as well, they have to carry that burden with them. So sometimes the stigma goes within themselves, how it makes them feel, like feeling ashamed and feeling different. It's like putting a label on somebody. Now, like I said, they're a person, and it's time to change. It's time to put away from all of that, to help those that are carrying that burden with them, because it can withhold them of how they're really feeling, like putting up a front that I'm okay, but deep down behind that barrier they're not okay. But because of the stigma, feeling ashamed and embarrassed towards it, towards actually coming out into the open and being able to speak freely about how they're feeling, talk about their illness. They've got as much right as anybody else in this world, and what they're suffering with is an illness, and that's what it should be looked upon. They have an illness, but behind that illness is a person, so we should not be looking at them as that's the person, they've got an illness, that's the person with an illness. They are no different than anybody else. So let's make a stand today. Let's make a stand and pull away from that stigma, to help those out there that are carrying that burden, and be able to speak freely, openly, and start to be able to manage and maintain their illness, because something like that can make it that little bit harder to manage if they're carrying that burden with them. So this video is especially to put away from that stigma, encourage those out there to open up and express how they're feeling, because there is, like I said, there's no shame or embarrassment in having mental health problems. You know, it helps to open up, it helps to talk freely about how you're feeling. It takes that bit of burden away, from being able to cope with it that much easier. Now everybody, we should be, like I said, making that stand, encouraging those out there that are suffering with an illness to be able to do that. And it's, like I said, especially in these tough times that we are experiencing at the moment, and we've experienced in the earlier in the year with the other lockdown. So let's get a bit of understanding around this and put away from that stigma, change that stigma. It shouldn't be no discrimination around mental health, because it's just an illness. Why should there be stigma around a mental health issue? Why should there be? Why did it ever start in the first place? Maybe because there was a lack of understanding, didn't know what to do, how to approach somebody that was suffering with an illness. Who knows? But in this day and age, there should be no stigma, because there are many people out there that are suffering with an illness and probably got loved ones, families, one may be suffering with an illness. We should have a bit more understanding now around it and a bit more educated around it, because an illness, it could be any age, there's no specific age, you know, young adults growing up, you know, it don't take much to trigger off your well-being, and that's what we've got to understand. So by doing this video, I want to encourage those out there that are in that predicament to come out and speak out freely about how they're feeling. Find someone that you can trust, that you know you can trust, and just talk, get that support, because like I said, there's no shame. There's no shame in it. There's no, you know, get that confidence back. Get back on that track. You can, you know, don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt yourself around it. You can do it. And with everybody else, bringing a bit of kindness around mental health. Put away from that darkness, that stigma, that discrimination. You know, it's like I said, it's just an illness, and each one of them, they are a person. So let's look at them as a person. So like I said, I wanted to do this video. Please share this video, and let's make a stand today. Let's change it. Let's change it. We should be changing it now. Changing it to kindness. Bring some kindness and help those out there that are in that predicament, that are suffering. So like I said, please share this video. It's very important. You know, we talk about mental health. Let's act today and change it for the good, and keep the conversation going, and give us a like.